halted the efforts of the protesters. To thwart is to block or stop. So what they're saying is the riot police stopped the airport protest in Hong Kong. Thwart the protest. Large cop presence. In other words, many police.
Many police.
Right, large cop or copper. A cop is a slang term
Police.
for police,
Yes.
coppers. I think it comes from England, the word coppers, because I think the badges that the police wore in England were made of the metal copper. So they became known as coppers or cops. Cops, large cop presence, in other words, many police at the airport deter ralliers. Deter. Again, stop. Deter, right. Stop, thwart, deter, stop, ralliers. A rally is a coming together of many people. A rally, have a big rally, and many people come together. In this case, it was the protesters at the airport. Large cop presence deters ralliers. In other words, many police at the airport stopped the protesters.
Stop the protesters.
Stop the protesters.
Thank you.
Another headline is stamping out dissent. Stamping out dissent. Riot police patrol a Hong Kong MTR underground metro station, just like the subway here. Underground metro station. Stamp out, stamping out. What does stamping out mean?
Stamping out. Stamping, block your.
Boom, boom. Stamping out would be to stop.
Stop.
Yeah, everything in this article is about stopping the protesters. So they stamp out, in a way. Stamp out dissent. In other words, being against the government. The people that are against the government are being stopped by the police. And what they use the word stamping out.
Stamping out.
Yeah. It'd be like if there was a little fire here. You go, boom, stamped out the fire. Oh, he stamped out the fire. Stamping out the dissent. The people against the government. They dissent what the government's doing. So, riot police trained to deal with people who are rioting, throwing rocks, fighting, everything. Just a big, out of control situation with hundreds of people. Riot. Thwart. To stop. Yeah, to stop whatever they planned to do, the police thwarted it. They stopped it.
Stop it. Block it.
Stamp out. Boom, boom. Control completely. To end it. Stamp it out. Boom. Dissent. To be against something. We are in dissent with the government. We're against what the government is doing. Deter. Again, to stop. Coppers, police, or cops. And in this case, large cop presence deters ralliers. In other words, many police present stop the protesters.
Stop the protest.
Deter the rally. It's more than a rally, more like a demonstration or a protest. Okay. Any questions about those words?
I know that. N.E.S.C.
Unmasked.
Unmasked.
A large group coming together. The police were unmasked. A large group.
อ๋อก็รัสกู
Many police unmasked. And they came to stop the protesters. Thwart, rally, deter, unmask, coppers, riot, thwart.
ที่ถ้าเจียวครับจะดิวเด่นจะเจียวจะดิวเด่น
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Morning. So these are the headline words, basically, that all deal, morning, with riot police for Hong Kong airport
เรียกพ่อสัน
protest.
หน่อย
ประเท
ดิ
ศเนี่ย
เรียกพ่อสันหน่อยแต่ตรงนี้แหละพ่อสันจะเป็น
The class will last till about 10:30, and then there's going to be a reception of some sort for Brother Tim.
เช่น
15 minutes. Oh no.
What?
No.
Okay.
Misunderstand.
All right. We're talking about. Good morning. We're talking about the
ส
riot
วัสดีครับ
and protests in Hong Kong, and I'll give one more sentence to kind of sum up all the things that we talked about this morning. And
Give me 5 minutes.
what?
5 minutes. I can do that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, where was I? Okay. I'll write out this sentence, and then I'll explain the meaning of the words, and then we'll read the sentence. This is the first sentence in the Bangkok Post about the situation in Hong Kong with regard to the protesters. I'll read it for you, and then we'll have, I'll explain the meanings, and then we'll have you read it, give it a try to read it too. It looks difficult, but it's not all that hard. There's a couple tricky words, but otherwise not that bad. The riot police. The riot police fanned out across Hong Kong. Riot police fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and thwarted, stopped plans by the pro-democracy protesters, the people who wanted Hong Kong to be a democratic elected city. Protesters to target the airport. The protesters were aiming at the airport to cause trouble. Target the airport. Several days after the city's leaders, Ms. Lam, made a concession on the extradition matter. Concession. Gave up. They were fighting, and finally Ms. Lam said, okay, you win. Extradition out. No extradition with China. The extradition matter. The extradition being China able to get people from Hong Kong that they want to put on trial from Hong Kong and sent into China. Aha. Got it. So that's out. They made a concession. Okay, you win. I give up. No extradition. Okay, are you happy? And of course, the protesters said, no, we're not happy. Too little, too late.
Too late.
Right. Too little, not enough, too little, and it's too late.
Too late.
Too little, too late. So riot police fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and thwarted plans by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport. Days after the city's leaders made a concession. Oh, we give up. You got it. No extradition. On the extradition matter. Extradition matter.
Word gamma. Teacher, what gamma?
Camera.
Verb to be.
Which word are you talking about?
Now, past tense.
No.
What word?
They mention that much because
All right.
แม่ครับ พี่ครับ
ครับ
เขาทีเชอร์เขาเข้าใจ
เขาเข้าใจแต่เขาไม่ได้สอนแก
อ๋อ
มาก
sorry teacher okay go
Okay.
Only that you didn't teach about grammar.
No.
You need grammar. You need past tense. You need present tense.
Well, okay. Pass.
ฝึกฟังว่าเขาออกเสียงยังไงอ่านยังไงอันนี้มีประโยชน์กับแกรมมาอีกแกรมมาเรียนแล้วไม่ได้ใช้แต่ว่าเสียงพวกนี้จะได้ใช้
ครับ
ว่าออก
But this is all past tense. It's all past tense because it's all happened days ago. Okay, go ahead, please read it.
Riot police fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and what? And
Thwarted.
huh?
Thwarted.
And thwarted,
thwarted,
thought,
thwart, wart, wart,
what, thought, what?
wart, wart, wart,
It's no
thwart,
TH
thwart, thwart.
No th sound, right?
Yeah, thwart.
Thwart, thwart, together sound.
Thwart. Thwart.
Thwart,
Thwart.
thwart,
Thwart.
thwarted,
Yeah.
thwarted, and thwarted friends by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport. Days after the city's leaders made a concession on the extradition matter.
Yeah, very good.
Extradition.
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 Extradition. Extradition.
Extradition.
Thwarted. Thwarted. Fan. Fan. Spread out all over the city.
Or fan.
Fanned out. Just like a fan. Well, there's no fan here, but if there was a fan, the air would be blowing everywhere. So it's fanned out.
Have it organized.
Okay. Good night. See you. Anyway, riot police fanned out across Hong Kong. In other words, they went everywhere in Hong Kong. Not just here or there, no, everywhere. Fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and thwarted plans. They stopped the plans by the pro-democracy protesters. The people were saying, we want democracy, we want democracy. The pro-democracy protesters to target the airport, aiming right for the airport. The plan of the protesters was go to the airport and cause trouble, stop the passengers from getting in. To target the airport days after the city's leaders made a concession. They gave up. They said, okay, you win, protesters, no extradition. Too little, too late. And so even now, they're still demonstrating in Hong Kong. Okay, so go ahead.
Riot police fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and toward planned by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport. Day after the city leader made a concession on the extradition matter.
Right, very good. Riot police fanned out across Hong Kong yesterday and thwarted plans by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport. Days after the city's leaders made a concession on the extradition matter. Extradition matter.
Extradition.
ได้ก่อน Both in police standing on the car Hong Kong yesterday and tell them police are very sick protector on they get in the court day after city leaders made a concession order extradition matter.
Concession. Made a concession listen to me. Made a concession on the extradition matter.
Me allocation. He on the man.
On the extradition matter. On the extradition matter. Extra. No, just do what I do. extradition.
extradition
Extradition.
extradition
Yeah,
บ้านเก่งมากต้อง
got it. Extradition matter. All right, or do you want to try?
Riot police like police found it out across Hong Kong yesterday and
Thwarted
and
plans by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport. Days after the city's leader made a concession on the extradition matter. Right, very good. Extradition matter. Made a concession on the extradition matter. Thwarted, that's a word you don't hear every day, but in this case, it was in the headline because it is, the word implies stopping the plans of somebody to do something. Whatever your plan is, I stopped it. Your plan was to enter the room. Well, what I did was lock the door. I thwarted your plan. I stopped your plan. You can't come in, I locked the door. Oh, he thwarted his plan. Thwarted. They could have easily said, riot police stop airport protest. They could have said, you know, that's another way to do it. They just used the word thwart in this case. Okay, fanned out. Thwarted pro-democracy protesters target the airport. Aiming right to the airport. That was the target of the protesters. Something at the airport.
Sorry, teacher.
Morning. Days after, oh, I lost my pen. Days after the pro-democracy protesters target the airport, days after the city leaders made a concession on the extradition matter. To make a concession is to give it in on a certain point, to surrender in a way. Are there any questions about the words here? Thwart is to stop.
Thwart is mean again, same again.
Against? No, not so much against. They are against it, but in this, in the strict definition is to stop it. Yes, we're against it. Well, did you do anything? Yeah, we thwarted it. In other words, we were thinking, we were sitting in the room saying, you know, we're against this protest. Well, if you're against it, you have to do something. So what are you going to do? Oh, we're going to stop it. We're going to thwart it. We're going to go out and stop it. They are against it, yes. But you can be against something and do nothing. Just sit there and watch television. But in this case, they went out there and stopped. Thwarted the effort of the protesters. You want to give it a try?
Yes.
Okay.
Please finish.
Fan, like fan.
Put ed, fan it across Hong Kong yesterday and
Thwarted
protest planned by pro-democracy protesters to target the airport days after the city's leader made a concession on the extradition matter.
Right, on the extradition matter. Okay, I'll explain it one more time for the people that just came in. The riot police. Riot. What is a riot? A riot. What is a riot?
Leash. No, riot. The police
Police riot. Riot.
who act stop the
Well, Right. The police, in this case, well, what a riot is a totally large group of, let's say, protesters in this case, fighting, breaking things, assaulting people, attacking the police, totally out of control. A riot. We are throwing rocks at the police. We're throwing hand grenades. We're throwing anything. It's a riot broke out. And the police, in this case, riot police, are trained to stop the riot. The police are trained to stop the riot. If you look at the police when they come out to stop the riot, they'll be fully dressed in armored helmets and face cover, protected against the rioters. And they are trained to stop the riot. The riot police fanned out. They didn't just go straight to one place, they went all over Hong Kong. Just like a fan, if I turn the fan on, the air goes all across the room. And in this case, it was the riot police that fanned out across Hong Kong, everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Yesterday, and thwarted, stopped. The protesters had a plan. Airport, 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 airport. And the riot police thwarted, or in other words, stopped plans by pro-democracy, people that were for democracy in Hong Kong, protesting the fact that they don't have democracy. And to target the airport, to target is to take the gun and target. You hit the target. The target was the chair. To target the airport, days after the city's leaders, Mrs. Lam, the chief executive officer, the CEO, made a concession. Made a concession. In other words, she was fighting the protesters. They don't want extradition, and she says, we're keeping extradition. And they continued to fight until she finally said, okay, 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 stop. No extradition. A concession. She gave in. She yielded. She surrendered. Okay, you win. No extradition. Made a concession. She, or in a sense, the city leader gave up the fight. Gave up the fight, conceded. You win, I lose. On the extradition matter, that they were dealing with China about extraditing Hong Kong citizens to China. That is out and done, over, finished. Any questions about this?
Mecca and With the
Matter? Matter?
MADCA.
Make a condition.
Made a concession.
Oh, not Mecca. มันเขียนติดปาก
Make a
โอเคแล้ว
condition.
ว่าเราเลือกไปเขียนติดอะไรใช่
Anyway, made a concession on the, made a concession, one concession on the extradition matter. You want to try? Riot.
Riot police federal out across Hong Kong yesterday and what
Thwarted
place by democracy
protesters
to
target
target the
Airport.
airport they offer the country
The